Hello, everyone. Welcome to Christopher's Entertainment Blog. I am your host, Chris. Welcome to another video for Arrow. This is season 4, episode 5, and it is entitled Haunted. So, um, this was probably my my favorite episode so far this year. I mean, Beyond Redemption was really cool. I really enjoyed last week's as well. I mean, the whole Restoration and Beyond Redemption um, episodes were really cool. Of the actual resurrection of Sarah, and this has been a 3 episode arc. It was basically like a mini movie, basically, if you put all 3 together. Um, but I've been really anticipating Sarah's return, and seeing her out and about and fighting and everything was very cool. I like the Sarah character a lot. Um, but you got to talk about this episode was all about Constantine, man. I enjoy Matt Ryan as Constantine. I think he's awesome. And I was actually kind of disappointed that we didn't get to see more of him. I was hoping that we would have maybe like at least half the episode where he was with the team, but he wasn't. He didn't come in really towards the third act, which was unfortunate. Um, but and I really hope they have more with him. I know they were talking about like maybe this is going to be a one and done thing. I don't think so. I mean, I would really hope that they do more with him because I would really like him to actually be part of the team, or maybe on Legends of Tomorrow or something because he's so cool and he works. I mean, I like him a lot as Constantine. I mean, the show that he was on, the NBC show, wasn't the greatest, but I liked him as Constantine, and I liked the other characters too that they had. I mean, so but anyway, I mean, they should definitely bring him on to do more stuff because with Constantine being on there, they have introduced a new dynamic to this world, the the mystical world. I mean, you have like on the other show, The Flash, where you're introducing these metahumans, where you really haven't got introduced to too much of that on Arrow. I mean, they've mainly stuck to the human element and just humans and fighting humans and more realistic stuff. But now this season, they're going into the mystical realm. I mean, they have taken taken it way out of this world, and they have gone into the mystical realm, bringing in Constantine, resurrecting Sarah, the Lazarus Pit, everything. I mean, they're going all out, and I like it. I really like it a lot. Um, it was great to finally get Sarah back, and now maybe she can be part of the team for um, maybe a few episodes. I'm hoping that we'll see more of her now, and she's not going to be trying to kill anybody. Um, that's going to be cool. Um, Also, in this episode, I mean, I didn't really mind Sarah, or not Sarah, but Laurel. I didn't mind Laurel again. I mean, her in a limited role doing stuff works for me. And when she's like in regular scenes where she's not fighting, it actually works for me. So her, being around and those scenes with Oliver and her and them talking about Sarah, I mean, it worked for me. I didn't mind her being there. But and also, with Thea as well. I mean, I didn't mind them. I thought it was kind of weird that she ended up in the hospital or something and she was all beat up. But you know, those scenes were funny. It was just like, how the heck did Sarah get in there? Without anybody seeing. I mean, did she come through the window? I mean, I don't know. But it shows that she has to. Sarah had that urge to kill whoever wronged her, and she wanted to kill Thea this whole time. But hopefully that's done now. But again, seeing Damien Dark, Neil McDonough is great. And that I would have to think. I have to think that he knows that Lance has betrayed him somehow. He's still using Lance somehow. that even though he knows that Lance has been talking to the Arrow, you think that he would be one step ahead of everybody, that he would know that he's went to Arrow and he knows all this, and that he's just still using Lance to get what he wants, um, so because I mean he just seems like that type of villain that he just knows all, and that I mean he's somehow mystical as well. You're dealing with this mystical. I don't know what he does with that knife that he's got in that closet, but it seems like he's like renewing himself or healing himself throughout the day or keeping himself alive or something. Who knows what's going on with that? That's interesting. Um, but the flashbacks I thought were more interesting than they've been for the last few episodes. We finally get to, oh well, he had Constantine captured on the island. Um, I liked it. I really liked the flashbacks this week. It was going somewhere that there was the whole meeting with him learning and talking to Constantine and knowing him, and Oliver finding out that there's this whole other dimension, this whole other world. I mean, this mysticism, these powers that he has. The whole tattoo thing. I mean, I don't know where that's going to come into play, but that should be interesting. Like maybe he can use that against Damien Dark or something at some point. The whole was the Japanese tattoos or whatever. Um, so that's going to be interesting. Um, the whole Diggle and Lance aspect was cool too, seeing those two work together and Diggle finding out what really happened to his brother. That was cool. His brother was on that list. A little bit of mystery going on there, something more there. I don't think Diggle's going to let that down. I think he's still going to dig more into finding out what Damien Dark knows about his brother. It's probably he might go after them without telling the rest of the team, and it might turn out bad. Um, but yeah, a lot of stuff happening. The whole mayor aspect, Oliver running for mayor and him bringing, the campaign manager or whatever said, you have to distance yourself from Laurel. And that at the end, he says, well, I'm not going to distance myself from my friends. I like that he's going to keep everyone close. That was cool. The whole Felicity finding out Ray Palmer's still alive. We're going now. Now we've got Constantine. We've got Sarah back. Let's jump into the next episode. We're going to find out that Ray Palmer's alive, and we're going to find out where he's at. So that's going to be very cool. Ray Palmer's alive. Where is he at? Let's bring him back. So we're getting closer and closer to the show Legends of Tomorrow. I mean, all these the wheels are in motion. Sarah's back. We're going to be finding Ray Palmer. So there's more stuff. Wheels turning there. They got to get this. I mean, that show's coming up quickly. In the next month or two. I mean, so yeah. But yeah, it seems cool, guys. I mean, I really enjoyed this episode. I really love seeing Constantine. I wish they would have more with him later on down the line. You think he would be like maybe towards the season finale or something. They got to have more with him because he was so good in this episode. I really like seeing Sarah in this episode and finally getting redemption. That was cool as well. But the one thing that I find like a negative was the whole when they went into like the whole other realm to get Sarah's um her soul or whatever. I mean that whole set. I mean you could tell it was just like a reuse like Nanda Parbat set or one that they reused. I thought that was kind of bad. I wish they would have had like a mystical element, like maybe they were like in this otherworldly type illusion type going on. I mean, it was just basically they just walk into a set and they just run around. It didn't really do very much. That was kind of a negative, but overall, I mean, I didn't really mind this episode. I really didn't. I mean, there was a lot of cool stuff happening. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I can't wait for next week's episode, guys. Please, guys, write in the comments below if there's anything I might have missed that you want to talk about. Please write in the comments. Also, please give a like. Would appreciate it. But that will do it for me for this episode of Arrow. I am Chris for Christopher's Entertainment Blog. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.